If you want to scale your e-com store past $1 million a month, you need to master two things. You need to master client acquisition and client retention. Only by acquiring new customers at a break-even point and reconverting them will you be able to scale profitably. Don't think cost per acquisition, think customer acquisition cost. Don't think ROAS, but think customer lifetime value. Hi, I'm Michael, the founder of Løving, an agency helping e-com stores breaking through the seven-figure mark. And in this video, I'll show you our step-by-step guide on what it takes to scale your brand past 7 figures and exactly how you can master client acquisition and client retention. Now, let me walk you through the client acquisition and what you need to do in order to get a low customer acquisition cost and get a lot of volume of new customers. So it's really important to note that we're not looking to earn as much money as possible on the first purchase, but we're more looking to get as much volume up as possible. This is what we normally do, and this is how we see success for e-com stores. So we would actually rather have 500 new customers come into your business every week, breaking even, not earning anything, but not losing anything on acquiring those customers. We would rather have that than getting 200 new customers in and earning a small profit. It's all about the volume, because if you master retention marketing, as I'll talk about later in this video, then you'll have no problem reconverting them and earning a profit on the second, the third, the fourth purchase even. And that is where the profit lies. So don't worry about making a ton of money on the first purchase. You should more focus on acquiring lots of customers at a break-even cost and then reconverting them later. But now, how do you lower your customer acquisition cost and how do you get so much volume of new customers? I've made a short list and I'll just go through the 5 things that you need to do to lower your customer acquisition cost and to get volume. Now, let me walk you through the first thing that you need to master, and that is your website. This is really, really important. You want to have it as high converting as possible, as then your customer acquisition cost will be lower, but you also want to have as high an average order value as possible, because then you can pay more to acquire a customer because they check out with more in the basket and then you earn more money on the first purchase. So the golden metric here is actually not your conversion rate, but it's more your revenue per visitor. This is what you should be optimizing for. Now, how do you optimize your website and how do you get it high converting? Basically, you just want to run a bunch of tests on different pages that you think could improve your performance. So obviously, you need to have a good website. Now, preferably you just want to hire somebody if you don't have the expertise yourself, but you want to have a website that is compliant with the best practices. So if you're a fashion brand, you need to have a good return policy. You need to have a sizing guide shown on your product page. You want to have all these stuff that is best practice. Now, once you're compliant and once you have like all the best practices implemented, this is where you want to go over to your A/B testing sort of mode. And this is where you're A/B testing different things, different elements that you think potentially could increase your performance. This could either improve your conversion rate or improve your average order value. So preferably you always want to have a test running. And if you're willing to go the extra step, you want to have a test running on each page. So you want to have a test running on your product page, on your collection page, on your homepage, in your checkout, and this will just improve your performance everywhere. Now, you never don't want to have a test running. So this just means that, let's say you're testing out a review on the product page. You're testing out whether or not you should showcase a specific review. You have this test running for 14 days. Now, you should have prepared your next test. You should have that prepared. You should have that developed in your pipeline already. This just means that when the 14 days are over and you know whether or not you should have the review shown on the product page, you already have the next test coming out. And this will just do a massive impact over the course of 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Then you'll see a massive difference in your website performance. So to sum it up, you need to actively be testing, preferably on all high impact pages like homepage, product page, collection page, checkout page. And you never want to have any downtime when testing. Now, the second thing that you want to be mastering is your email and SMS flows. These are the automated emails that you've probably received on yourself. If you, for example, add something to a cart, but you don't convert, you get an email, hey, you forgot something in your cart. Probably you've received them yourself. Well, you need to have all of these flows in place, as this is sort of free revenue, as it doesn't cost you to send these emails. The only cost associated with it is your time to set up the flows and the cost of the software you're using. Probably you're using Klaviyo. This is like the main software people are using or e-com brands are using for email SMS marketing, but it's basically free revenue once you have it set up. So you want to have as many flows as possible that make sense for your brand. And this also helps you build brand loyalty, which will help you increase your customer lifetime value and your returning customer rate. But by having these email SMS flows, you'll also be sending automated emails to people who are not your customers yet, but just need a little bit more convincing. So you probably have a pop-up on your website, getting people into your Klaviyo account or whatever email software you're using. And then you just nurture them with your email flows and then getting them ready to convert. And then at some point they'll convert. if you don't have these email SMS flows set up, then you're just losing out on revenue. So I think this is a very, very obvious one, and I hope you have this set up already if you're running an e-com store, but for God's sake, you need to have email SMS flows set up right now. The third thing you need to do is sending out email campaigns frequently. And when I say frequently, I really mean frequently. So a lot of brand owners I'm talking to, they're sending out maybe once a week. Now you need to bump that up. We want to send out at least 3 times per week. And if you want to grow to 1 million a month, preferably you can even send like 1 time a day. Now you want to be measuring your KPIs, your key performing indicators, and you want to see whether or not it's worth it sending another email. So you want to track your unsubscribe rates. If you go from sending out 3 times a week to 4 times a week and your unsubscribe rate doesn't increase, well, that's great. And then you look at your revenue per recipient. So if you send out 4 times per week instead of 3 times per week and your revenue per recipient is still good, well, that's just amazing. That's just more revenue that you just earned. Now, to give you an example, we just onboarded a new client. They're actually doing 7 figures already, and they're bringing in $330K a month from their email marketing. And they're sending out emails daily, and they're bringing in a ton of revenue from these daily emails. And no, people are not feeling spammed that you're sending an email a day, because if you use a value-first approach, people will actually like receiving the email. Now that's very important. If you're just sending spammy emails once a day and you just keep spamming people down, then people will unsubscribe, people will be mad, and you'll have poor deliverability, and it's just not a sustainable setup. But now if you're sending out emails frequently and you're providing value to the list and people love to engage with your emails, you're really putting in the effort in designing these emails good, well, then your brand loyalty will go up, your brand reputation will go up, and just your overall revenue will go up. Now, of course, you'll send these emails to your existing customers, but also to people, again, who just need nurturing. So this will, again, bring your customer acquisition cost down. The fourth thing you need to do is posting organically. Now, this is also pretty self-explanatory, but by just putting your brand in the face of your audience, you will be top of mind and people will be thinking about you when, let's say, you're running a fashion brand and they want to buy a new shirt. Well, then you're top of mind. And this will also just increase brand loyalty and increase customer lifetime value. So this is sort of mixed together in client acquisition and also retention marketing. If you don't post organically daily, then you're missing out, because people, if they're a little bit more skeptic and they're just not ready to buy from you yet, maybe they'll go to your Instagram account, maybe they'll follow you. And then by you posting daily, you'll obviously put stuff in front of their head all the time, and they'll just be warmer until they convert. So if you're not posting organically, you're missing out on basically free revenue. Again, the only cost associated with this is the time spent. And trust me, it's well worth investing the time to post organically. Now, the fifth thing that I'll go through is basically how you scale your setup. So from 1 to 4, it's basically, well, how can we get a lower customer acquisition cost? How can we improve our funnel and make everything better for the customers? But now I'm looking to scale it up. So obviously you need more traffic to your site. And how do we get that at scale? We run paid ads. So you want to run paid ads, and you don't just want to set up a campaign and just push traffic to your site, but you want to run acquisition specific campaigns. So you want to run specific campaigns focusing on acquiring new customers, and then you want to run other campaigns. This is a part of the retention, but that's only specific for customers. So if you're just running one simple campaign, not differentiating between new customers and existing customers, then you'll get some inflated results, because then you'll see like a decent ROAS. But if you look deeper into the numbers, you'll actually see that your new customer ROAS is pretty low and your existing customer ROAS is higher. So you want to split these up into 2 different campaigns, and then you want to make acquisition specific ads focusing on the colder audience and just optimizing to acquiring customers at a break-even level. Now, how do you make good ads? How do you make a good acquisition setup? This is a whole different subject, and I could talk about this for hours. Actually, I have talked about this for hours. I made a Meta Masterclass. If you're interested in learning about running Meta ads in 2025, I suggest you going to my website and signing up for our Meta Masterclass. You'll learn a ton of stuff when it comes to Meta ads. Now, set up acquisition specific campaigns, scale it up, get a ton of new customers, because what you've implemented from 1, 2, 3, 4, you should see a low customer acquisition cost. This is basically the recipe for acquiring new customers, and now all you need to do is reconvert the customers, which I'll go through now. Now, when it comes to reconverting your existing customers, you need to focus on some different things. First of all, I want to mention that what you've done prior to this in the client acquisition, like optimizing your website, making good email SMS flows, sending out campaigns daily, posting organically, all of this will help tremendously with reconverting customers and getting a high customer lifetime value. Now, you can also make specific tweaks that are specific for getting a higher customer lifetime value, which could be implementing subscriptions in your business, implementing loyalty programs. I really suggest you implementing loyalty programs, making new product launches. This is also huge for increasing customer lifetime value. I also suggest you to set up a customer specific campaign, and this will only focus on existing customers. You will have to make your copywriting a bit different. It will be way easier to get conversions with this campaign, and this will just overall help you increase customer lifetime value. Basically, if you have a strong product and you have a good customer support, and then people will return to your business no matter what. You still need to optimize for this. You still need to tweak it so we get even more people to reconvert. But basically, if you have a strong product, you will be successful in reconverting existing customers. Now, if you're an e-com brand and if you want to scale, I highly suggest you to scroll down and schedule in a growth call with me personally. On this growth call, we'll go through your biggest growth blockers, we'll analyze your business, and we'll just have a friendly chat, seeing where you could potentially increase performance and how you could scale your brand. Now, on the other hand, if you're more interested in learning about digital marketing yourself, how to run ads, how to optimize a website, how to master email SMS marketing, then I suggest you to schedule in a call with me using the second link in the description, which is a link to book in a call for my mentorship and my Done With You solution. This is where I'll actually teach you everything that I know. I'll give you access to all of the internal material in Løving, and this way you can become an excellent digital marketer yourself. So go ahead, scroll down and schedule in a call.